Back here at NSGSpartans.com here with volleyball interim head coach Brandon Duvall. And Brandon, the season's getting right down to the end now. You guys are 4 and 5. You're right there in the thick of it. You got like you, Hampton, and Howard are kind of just all right there battling for those last 2 spots. Right now, it looks like Morgan State's going to take the second spot.
Right.
UMES clearly has the first spot. Now, after you got a non-conference match Wednesday at James Madison, then you come back with Howard at home. We've already played here at home.
Right.
And then you go to UMES. You got UMES and Delaware State on the road. So, I mean, I guess just talk about what do you guys have to do from here? Obviously, you guys got to win, but
we just got to play way more consistent than we have. I mean, you know, we're not nearly as deep as we'd like to be, mainly because of the injuries and things like that. But you know, we don't want to make excuses for our play. You know, when it's clutch time and we got to make that last serve, you got to make that last serve. You can't serve a ball in the net. I think we've done that a couple times where we could have closed out the game, especially against Morgan. And unfortunately, we shot ourselves in the foot, making a few costly errors at the end of the game that easily could have put us at 5 and 4, or could have put us at, you know, we can look back at the entire season and look at the 5-set matches where we're serving. I mean, we're hitting the ball, you know, 18 errors and 10 service errors and things like that. You know, you try to clean that up a little bit. You know, who knows where our season will be right now, but you know, it's in our hands. I mean, it was in our hands. Got to beat Howard this weekend, and then we'll see how everything else plays out.
Yeah, like you were saying, the Morgan State match, even the Howard and Hampton that were here earlier in the year. I mean, especially that Morgan State, you guys you had it, and you just let it slip away at the last second. It's like those little consistent things that kind of struggle. I mean, looking ahead, looking at the schedule now, you got Howard on Friday, and you got UMES and Delaware State weekend after that. I mean, do you guys feel? Obviously, you feel disappointed with some of those wins that you could have had. But do you feel you're still playing up to your potential right now? Do you feel like you guys are taking a step forward from the beginning of the season until now?
I think we're a better team than we've ever been. I think, you know, players are starting to emerge. You know, the type of players that we need at this point in the season. People who are able to consistently put the ball away or pass the ball at the crucial times. You know, and I think once again, it's not one thing that hurts us. It's, you know, if it was one thing, we could tackle that. It's a whole slew of things. You know, missing the serves at the end of the game. We, you know, especially, you know, we'll miss maybe 3 or 4 serves first 2 sets, and then the third set when we can close out, we're missing 5, 6, 7 serves. You know, things like that hurt us. So it's basically finishing and just playing more consistent volleyball. I mean, like I said, I really do believe we're a better team than we've ever been in here 4 years, and this is probably the most solid group from top to bottom that we've had. You know, we're not, like I said, the depth that we would have had at the beginning of the season is not there now because of injuries, but like I said, we have players on the court that can perform or expect to perform, and you know, if we do our job over the next next 2 weeks, I think we earned that spot in the playoffs.
And you said you've been here for all 4 years, and this Friday against Howard is senior night. 3 seniors going to be gone. 2 of them were only here for 2 of them were transfers.
Right.
And one player, Nicole, was here all 4 years. First off, I mean, obviously, we'll start off with Nicole. You know, she's injured this year, but she's basically been the heart and soul of your team for so long. She's been just that key player for you guys. That you should say that franchise type player for you guys these 3 years. Just talk about what she's done for you guys.
In my honest opinion, I think Nicole came here at the start of what we would consider our turnaround. You know, I don't know much about Norfolk State. I've lived here for a long time, but I don't know much about their past. All I can do is look at their records.
Yeah.
I got some old film on it. I've watched a little bit of it. When I look at somebody like Nicole Kessner, to me, she was exactly what we needed at the right time for us to get things rolling. We needed that quarterback to start the franchise, and she was that person. And the fact that she was able to break the career assist record within 3 years is amazing. It's amazing. As long as there's been volleyball here at Norfolk State, she broke it in 3 years. And if she would have had her 4th year, who knows what could have happened. And then you look at people like Jasmine and Tracy. Tracy was a great addition. You know, had a great juniors background and went off to play at Lee's McRae and wanted to come closer to home and bring in somebody like that who can kind of help us defensively. And you know, with Noelle out, she's done a fantastic job filling in the libero position and you know, kept our defense as solid as can be. And then Jasmine Fraser is just the heart of the team. She's the attitude, she's the commitment, she's, you know, everything you want from an athlete on the floor, and especially off the floor. It's three big seniors, if you ask me. It's three people that, went through some rough times here at Norfolk State and helped change the perception of the program, change the identity of the program, and we're going to miss them a ton. And hopefully they pass some things on to the underclassmen.
Yeah, I mean, these are three seniors. It's not like they've barely played. These are three seniors that have been important contributors.
Right.
Tracy 2 years ago, Jasmine the past 2 years, Nicole 3 years before this year. So it's not, these are three seniors that you're really going to miss. And obviously you talk about you're building depth and you're building depth for next year as well. But I mean, these are three seniors that you're going to kind of be sorry to see them go. And,
yeah,
hopefully you can build off of what they've done and get it better.
When you talk about leaders, we talk about all the time. There's good leaders and great leaders. There's good leaders who come in, make sure the net's set up on time, make sure that the girls have everything on correctly, and make sure the girls are held accountable for getting to things on time. I mean, these girls are great leaders. Nicole and especially Jasmine and Tracy, especially coming in. Even though she didn't get, she redshirted last year, she came in this year with the attitude and and committed to everything they're doing. They're great leaders. And it's hard to replace great leaders. It's hard to get somebody to truly understand, that it's an everyday thing, and you got to get up out of bed and you got to lead. And they did that. And I think we have girls on our roster that are moving up right now that have the potential to do that. But they've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. Hopefully this is a class. Like I said, we didn't have any seniors last year. Tracy redshirted, so she came back for a fifth year. So we actually had no seniors last year. Yeah, super senior. The 5-year plan.
Right.
At least it's not the 6-year plan, but
right, yeah.
The 5-year plan. So you didn't have any seniors last year. So these people hopefully will look back and see these three and say, these three were kind of, I don't want to say the foundation. I guess you could say the foundation for building better things and coming down there. Especially last year, you had 13 wins, the most you've ever had in Division I years. So hopefully. History will show that these three seniors have came in, meant a lot, and basically was the foundation to build this program into something better.
Yep.
So, like I said, the Spartans will be here at Eccles Friday at 6 p.m. They play Howard. It'll be a very key match. NSU sits half a game behind Howard. Howard's 4-4, NSU's 4-5. So it'll be a very key game for NSU in its quest to get to the MEAC tournament. 6 o'clock here, like I said, come on out and support your seniors, and we'll have more interviews from those three seniors after the match on Friday. So for all your information on NSU Volleyball, as always, NSUSpartans.com.